right. Let's go.
Do we need makeup or anything like that?
You'll be fine. I'll make you look terrible. All right, I'm Steven here from Metalhead Productions, and I got John Davis here from Conan. Nice to meet you, John.
Nice to meet you too,
Looking
Steven.
forward to the show, and thank you for going over this rig rundown with us for your tour.
Sure.
So let's start here with your guitars. What are you using for the shows?
Well, I've got two Les Paul copies, Les Paul custom copies, both quite similar really in terms of the setup, but this is a Greco from I think early 91, 92, something like that. And similar modification to what I do to all of the guitars that I have. I remove the pickup selector, I just have tone, volume and tone, and my pickup selector switches here. But pickups I use are bare knuckle war pigs.
Oh, I love the War Pigs. I have a set of the Les Paul actually myself.
Yeah, I've tried them on. I've tried different pickups and different guitars, but they just don't have they're just not thick sounding enough for some reason. I just don't get it.
Those are very thick, and they don't have that bitey top end. They still have enough to cut, but never harsh through stuff like fuzz and distortion.
I've used Seymour Duncan Invaders. They're probably the closest to them, and even then, they don't have that thing. But what I really like is the tuners, the go-to tuners, 510s. These are they really like high ratio. So when you tune, it's very, very accurate.
Those like 20 to 1.
I actually don't know the ratio. It's a lot to one.
A lot to one. As
Yeah.
long as it works. Oh, and we got the 3 pickup thing going here.
Yeah, this is a Bernie, around about the same sort of age. Another Japanese custom copy.
Those are awesome.
Yeah, and I didn't really want to replace all 3. So I just replaced the bridge, which is the one I use on my guitars 99% of the time anyway. And again, similar setup. These 2 pickups are dead now. These aren't connected, and then just volume and tone. And same tuners, the Goto 510s.
Nice.
Just helps keep it in tune a bit more. Obviously, I tune down quite a lot, and with the Gibson scale neck, it can, with lower quality tuners, I can find myself having to tune all the time, whereas with these, it's
What
pretty accurate.
tuning are you in?
It's drop F.
Drop out. Okay, so very low.
Yeah. FCF, A sharp, DG. It doesn't feel. I mean, you can see it's not particularly loose. It's just loose. I like that there's a bit of movement in it because I think it sounds different. Like if I had thicker strings, I think the guitar tone would be a lot less. I mean, it'd be more articulate, and I don't really want that.
Right.
I want it to sound quite fat and kind of messy,
Right. I mean, that's the sound of the band.
Yeah, and if I hit too many bum notes, you can't tell half the time. So that's an advantage too.
Now, what are you using for an amp and cab setup here?
Okay, so these cabs belong to Murs of Thrace. These used to belong to me, but I sold them to those guys after we toured with them recently in Canada. When these are 2 Emperor 412s and an Orange 412. I believe these are probably V30s in here. Casey will have to tell me. But this one's been set up for 4 ohms. Both of these cabs are 8 ohms each. And I believe these will also be vintage 30s. So we got the same kind of speakers across all 3 cabs. And all 3 cabs are getting the same signal out of this power amplifier, which is just a boring Quilter QSC power amplifier, PA amplifier. Puts out about 1100 watts into 4 ohms. But I can run it in stereo, so I can run different impedances for each output. So for example, say these were both 16 ohms, I could run them as a full stack at 8 ohms on one channel, and I could run, say, I don't know, a 4 ohm Ampeg 810 on the other channel, and it wouldn't harm the amp. You couldn't do that with a Valve power amplifier.
Oh no, absolutely.
I was always blowing tubes, like in my younger days, just from buying like old amps or not treating them right on the road. And one day I was like, why don't you start using a solid state power amp? They work for Kurt Cobain, why don't I just do the same thing? And it's so far, touch wood, it's not failed me. So
that is one of the benefits of solid state. They will keep going and going and going.
Yeah, totally. It affects the tone in a way that I like. And it's hard to explain why. It just sounds different, and it's more reliable so far. But the preamp on here is actually a Valve made preamp, and it's a company called Rectangular, which is actually Ned Clayton, and he's in Utah. I think he's sort of an hour away from Salt Lake City. And he makes amplifiers. He makes the Micro T, and I think he runs under the name of Hex amplifiers with Gentry Densley from Eagle Twin. Anyway, he made me this, and it looks a lot like and sounds a lot like the preamp section from old 70s Matt Amp and Orange.
Oh, okay.
That's my favourite tone. Like,
yeah.
In the studio, that's the kind of tone I go for. And so I wanted to replicate that live, but without blowing output tubes all the time, which I was doing all the time, and it was annoying. At one point, I had 4 Matt amps, and they're my favourite amplifiers of all time, but like with any tube amp, I just going through output tubes all the time, so it became a pain in the butt. So I just decided to get a solid state power section, but retaining the tone somewhat.
Well, yeah, I mean, they have that huge bottom and that really woolly kind of mid-range,
Exactly,
just low mid-range.
Yeah,
I mean, that makes sense for the music.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I don't mind admitting it. Like I want my guitar to sound like Matt Pike's does on "Surrounded by Thieves." And
Don't we all?
If it strays anywhere from that, I'm not happy. That's really my inspiration, guitar tone wise. So this gets me quite close to it. I just wish I could play as well as him. Then I'll be totally happy.
Also, don't we all? All right, so now we're moving on to the pedal board. What are you using live? Because on the albums, you have a handful of different effects going, some stuff that you seem to really like across albums, some stuff that might be a little bit, more unique for, say, the Violence Dimension. That title track had a lot going on in it.
Yeah.
So how are we using everything here?
Well, I mean, on the album, I was using exactly what you see there, apart from that whammy ricochet pedal, which, when I step on that, it detunes the guitar, and then I let go and it just like comes back up to tune again, and you can change the speed at which it does that, and that gives some cool effects where you're just hitting single notes or having like a noisy passage in songs, which we'd introduced more of that kind of thing on Violence Dimension.
Yeah, I noticed that, absolutely.
Yeah, so we didn't have that pedal when we recorded the album, but when we started playing these songs live, I quickly identified parts in those songs that would benefit from that kind of thing, so I bought that just as a bit of a toy, but I use it quite a bit. You hit a note, step on it, it detunes it, then you pull off, play a different note, and whilst the guitar's coming up to tune again, you're playing all these weird, it just sounds crazy, so it really, like, unique sound to me. But Cookie from Napalm Death was fucking about with one on some, like, YouTube quick video, and I thought I want one of them, so but the rest of it's a mix of custom stuff and just regular off-the-shelf stuff. I mean, you can see that high band flanger there. Don't get to hear that very often because of the way it is. You only saw that you get high registers, you can hear it. So on the album, for example, I was using that on some of the solo bits, run into this pedal, but the input volume here, even when this pedal isn't activated, this is a delay pedal, the input volume can really affect how much feedback you get and the nature of the feedback. So in the studio, I was running the high band flanger, sometimes with a half-cocked wah, sometimes with this phaser pedal here, with distortion, of course, and then just running it into the front end of this the Space Echo pedal, and it would give like a really unique sound and feedback, which which is relying heavily on the input volume dial of that amplifier of the pedal.
So I was actually wondering about that, because not just on the new album, but a bunch of the different albums that you have, when you do lead stuff, you really like to do like kind of crazy feedback, huge sounding stuff, which I love.
I'm not very good at playing lead guitar, to be honest with you, so I like to just make it sound cool rather than technically accurate. So
same.
Yeah, I have more fun with it that way, because growing up as a kid, I was trying to learn
same
buddy, and all that. So I feel your pain, but I have more fun with it because I can get away with the sound, and I can hit bum notes and pretend I'm meant. That's the main thing.
No, absolutely. And you brought up this phaser here. What kind of phaser is this?
Well, it's actually a rehoused Sovtek green Russian small stone phaser.
Oh, okay.
So just a regular off-the-shelf phaser, but I bought it off eBay, and I noticed on most phasers that the sweep itself isn't slow enough. So I sent it off to my friend in Dublin, Moose Electronics, and he added a modulation switch which would double the time of the sweep.
Okay.
So it would be like super slow, which is exactly what I wanted.
I like a nice slow moving phase too, more
Yeah,
for
me too, yeah.
ambience and filling, especially with lead stuff.
Yeah, totally.
So I can definitely feel you there. It's cool. It's a modified one.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody knows really what it is. That's pretty awesome as well.
People ask me about it all the time. I just say it's a phaser. but it's like half as slow, twice as slow as a small stone.
Absolutely. And you did mention the wah briefly. That's a Cantrell wah, right?
It is, yeah.
Any reason for that in particular?
Well, it stayed on my board because that's my daughter's name, Alice. I bought it from. I got like a bit of an artist deal with a Dunlop MXR through Brian over there, and I fell in love with that wah pedal. I love how it sounds, and I have always had a wah pedal on the board, but never really connected with one.
I absolutely understand that.
Yeah, so I got that, and it just fits in nicely. You can adjust the sweep on it, and I'm just really happy with it. But yeah, it's got my daughter's name on it, so if I take it off the pedal board, she'll kill me.
And then what are we doing with this kind of sparkly pedal at the top? What's that?
This is my distortion pedal. So this is it's called a Fuzz Throne, originally made by Nick, who's at Dunwich Amplification.
Yeah, Dunwich, and he also does a bunch for Does It Doom, and yeah, I know Nick. Nick's a buddy.
Yeah, he's great. And he made me like a prototype back in I think 2013, 14, and then I had that prototype, sold that to Tanya from Bismuth, and then I replaced that with a big footprint one, and then that started when I was using that so much, it started to get a little bit old. Sold that on. And then I got another one, and I think that's like my fourth one, because that's all I use, really, distortion-wise. I went, for a brief period, I used a Dunwich Amplification HM2 clone. It was a HM2 clone with an adjustable mid-sweep, so you could sort of cock it where you, not put the notch where you want it for the mid, like, you know, the HM2 sound. And I used that on Existential Void Guardian and when we toured that album. And then when I moved on from that, I was like, okay, I want to go back to the Fuzz Throne. So, yeah, so that's all I use now, the Fuzz Throne. I have my pedal just set kind of boring, really. I got them all set to 3 o'clock. And then the two switches set to the middle. It's easy to remember as well. I've settled on that now. I'm not going to change it.
No, for sure. As a matter of fact, with the Fuzz Throne, I think I might have demoed one of those. You guys did a release with Magic pedals, right?
We did. And in fact, that one there was built by Magic Pedals. Yeah, we did a release for our 2023 tour.
Yeah.
And we had a handful of them made with custom artwork.
Yeah, I demoed one of those. They were really cool.
Oh, yeah.
It sounded absolutely massive into the clean channel. I was using a Friedman with that.
But. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're great pedals.
Yeah.
And the ones he made are exactly the same as that.
So this one's just smaller footprint?
Yeah, I've just held on to it since from before when he started making them. So it's, but I love it. Yeah, it's great. It's
I think those are
quite versatile too.
Yeah, I think they're kind of sought after now too.
I guess so, yeah.
A lot of people online are still wanting those.
Still want to buy them.
Maybe Magic Pedals will do another release.
I'm sure he will. Sure, he'll make a couple of quid off it. I'm sure he will.
And then we just have the strobe tuner here.
Yeah, this strobe tuner, nothing special. I just saw someone using one, and in fact, I think it was Chris from Slamatics. And I saw that, and it's a bit more visible because I wear glasses. And I thought, you know what, on a dark stage, that is quite bright. So I just liked how it looked.
Sure, and I mean, if it works well.
Yeah. I also like the fact that you can tune it whilst you're playing. I don't like to mute in between songs. I hate that, like, just complete reduction of vibe when you, like, mute your guitars and then you tune in. And I think it makes the band look nervous when they do that. And I hate that. So I tune up, like, I don't care if they can hear me tuning. It takes me a second to do it anyway. So that pedal allows me to do that. So do some others I know, but I just like the combination of that plus the big visuals on it.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it seems like a pretty simple board that does a lot of different sounds. You can get your super thick, saturated sound, but then you have a phase here for some different modulation. You have different various things for lead tones. Yeah. The ricochet for some of the cool new stuff on the album.
Don't forget the clock.
And the clock, yeah. Well, you need to know what time it is.
It helps keep us on track. I mean, obviously in the tour now, we know where we're up to at certain points because we're playing a certain song, so we know. But if you're playing a festival or you're playing, like, it's early in the tour, and you may be just getting used to a new running order for the set, it's handy to know, like, where you're up to time-wise and not looking at your watch all the time. So I can just see it at a glance. Yeah.
Oh, you're not going too long or something.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
All right, well, thanks again for having the interview. It was great meeting you, buddy, and I'm looking forward to seeing the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay metal.